Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing Tea Street. Today's mug, Cozy Girl Season. I like this mug, y'all. It's got all the little things on it to remind me that what season we're in. I'm going to jump right in today. Today's topic is important to me because I'm in a season where I'm seeking God for second chances, some things that I need a do over. And so I'm seeking God for that. And the good news is, I was listening to a song the other day that talks about we serve a God of second chances. So today, don't skip the process of second chances. If we're going to go through the process, and it is a process of second chances, because if we don't get the process right, we're going to be looking for third, fourth, and fifth chances. Good morning, Val. We're going to be looking for third, fourth, and fifth chances. So let's go through the process of second chances. First, acknowledge the first failure. Acknowledge the first failure. Good morning, Miss Brown. What does that mean? Y'all, before you can embrace a second chance, you have to be honest about where things went wrong the first time. Too often, we get so excited about the possibility of redemption. Notice I said I'm raising my hand without reflection. But second chances only matter when you learn from the first mistake or the first failure. If you didn't learn from it, y'all, you're not really in a season of second chances. You're setting yourself up for second failures of the same thing. That don't mean that you're not going to make some different mistakes, but y'all, when you seek a second chance and you acknowledge your first failure, it's not about punishment. It's about preparation so you can get the second chance right. You can't grow past the thing that you won't face. If you failed at some things, a relationship, if you failed at work, if you failed at leadership in a season, when you get a second chance, it doesn't matter if you do it the same way that you did it the first time because you didn't learn. It just means you're again waiting for the next failure. You can't move into your second chance while you're pretending the first one didn't happen. There, I said it. Good morning, Miss Woods. So you gotta, if you're going to go through the process of second chances, you gotta acknowledge the first failure. The second thing you gotta do is you gotta accept the grace to begin again. This one is hard for people. I know that it's hard for me. Once we faced our past, we got to accept that grace gives us permission to start again. You got a clean slate. This summer, I was experiencing some challenges with a student, and the students were like, Miss T, I'm so sorry. I said, I don't want the apology. You got a clean slate with me. What I want is a different behavior with your clean slate. I don't need an apology. What I need is for you to know you got permission to start all over. I don't even want to see the residue on the board from yesterday because we in a new day and you get a second chance. Second chances are not earned, they're simply received. And receiving grace means letting go of the guilt. You know what? It's not, I always tell people, it ain't a second chance if every chance you get. Good morning, Deaconess Rhonda. If every chance you get, you beat me over the head with what I did before, that's not a second chance. That's a second chance for you to what? Beat me up over the old stuff. So just remember that you've got to accept that grace or that second chance. Real talk. One of my favorite, I'm about to put it in the comments. One of my favorite scriptures that reminds me that God is a God of second chances is a short verse in Jonah. It said, and the word of God came unto Jonah the second time, saying, that means God came to Jonah. Jonah messed up, told him to go to Nineveh. He went off over to Tarsus. And guess what? God, God said, guess what, Jonah? I'm going to come to you again. Even though you messed up, I'm going to come to you again. And so at that moment, then you have a responsibility. Jonah said, no worries, God. I got you the first. I got you this time. I'm gonna go right on over to Nineveh like you told me to, because I'm going to be a recipient of the grace that you have given me. And finally, the third thing, you got to act differently. If you get that second chance, y'all, you got to act differently. A second chance requires a changed response. It is said, and it's attributed to a lot of people. I always attribute it to Einstein, that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result or a different outcome. So you got to act differently when you get that second chance. If you get a second chance at love, if you get a second chance, whatever destroyed your first relationship, if you were a part of what destroyed that first relationship, guess what? You're going to destroy the second one unless you act differently. We can't walk the same road and expect a different destination. Growth comes when we choose new habits. If I'm gonna fail again, I'm gonna fail differently than I failed the first time because I'm gonna choose a new habit. When Jonah finally got that second chance, Jonah was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to Tarsus. I'm gonna go the other road to Nineveh because I already know that Tarsus didn't have what I was supposed to get." Second chances come with responsibility. So whatever you do, don't waste them doing what you did before. If somebody gives you a second chance at a friendship or a second chance at a job, or you failed at a job and you get another job, y'all, if you weren't ethical in your first job that you failed at, try ethics the second time around. Second chances aren't about erasing your past. It's about redeeming whatever happened in the past. When you acknowledge your mistakes, you accept grace, and you act differently, you can walk in the fullness of the process of renewal. There it is. Good morning, Jackie. So I don't know who needed this message other than me because I'm studying right now the God of second chances and really needing God to constantly remind me that I'm no longer under the law of my mistakes. I'm under grace. And so I came on today to tell somebody that second chances are available to you, but there's a process of second chances. First, acknowledge your first failure. Second, accept the grace to begin again. Get rid of the guilt. Guilt is an unproductive emotion. It doesn't produce growth and it doesn't produce positive outcomes for you. And finally, act differently this time. If we do that, then we are on the road to positive second chances. So, whatever you do, don't skip the process of second chances. I hope you all have an amazing day and I hope that you accept the grace of whatever you're walking in. I'm the Amazing T Street, but you know what? Absolutely, positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. Why? Because the God in me is the God in you. Have an amazing day.